Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a lower body focused practice. I do have 2 blocks just to hold on to a little bit today. Find some space to move for sure though, and let's get started. So let's begin today in tabletop on our hands and knees. And if you've got some blocks to use, just have them close by so you can use them when you'd like to use them. But we'll for sure start in tabletop. Maybe a little sway through the hips. And then you can extend your right leg back behind you, tucking the toes, pushing the ball of the foot into the ground, sending your heel back behind you. Feeling your calf, maybe even your hamstring if you're lucky. You can slide your right knee back in and switch sides, extend your left leg, push into the ball of the foot, push into your hands a little bit. You can slide your left leg back in and then maybe we'll scoot our knees just a little closer together and then extend the right leg one more time. It can stay behind you or it can go off to the left side. It can stay on the straighter side of things, or you can start to bend your right leg, your knee, and try to bring it to the ground on the outside of your left calf. If you found some nice crossed legs here, start to lift your knee again. Lengthen the leg, bring the foot back behind you, and then slide your knee in so that your knees maybe are side to side again, and then extend your left leg. Push into the ball of the foot. Option to stay here or move your foot to the right. Maybe bend the left knee. Try to touch it to the ground beside that right calf. And then just coming back the way you came, lift the knee up. Slide the foot back behind you and then come back into your tabletop. You can widen your knees a little bit again and maybe rock and sway the hips side to side a few times. We're going to be moving into a lunge from here with our right foot forwards. So if you like to hold on to something, some blocks maybe, just bring them on either side of your foot. Sink into your hips. You might tuck your back toes under and scoot your left knee back a little bit further just to find your hip flexor, your quad even more. You can always flip back to the top of the foot though. Sink your hips forwards and down. And then we're going to be rotating our upper body to the left, and we're going to be moving our back leg too. So if you want to bring your blocks with you, you can start to walk your hands to the left and let your left leg swing back behind you as well. Now take a second here just to lift up your upper body off of your blocks, off of the ground, and we're just going to adjust our legs a little bit. So think warrior 2, half warrior 2. Our right leg and our toes, our knee are pointing forwards. Our left knee is down and our toes are pointing behind us. And so we're opening our hips a little bit here. If you want to go further than this, we're leading with our right knee. Our hips might scoot forwards a little bit, letting that back knee stay where it is, or maybe you stay pretty level on top of this back knee. Now, if you're feeling good though, to bring a little bit more into this, shifting the hips forwards a little, warrior 2. You can bring your hands to the ground to make this a little bit deeper. You might be out on an angle a little bit. You don't have to be right off to that left side. And as the hips kind of scooch forwards a little more, maybe the right foot scooches forwards a little bit more too. Maybe your hands are on the ground, maybe your hands are on your blocks. And then we're just going to start to lift back up slowly, slowly. And if we can just pivot to turn back so we're in our lunge again, with our left leg on our mat, straight behind us, back in our lunge, maybe with our blocks on either side of our foot, where we can lengthen through that right leg for our half split, maybe pointing the toes up, maybe dropping the chest down. And then bending into your front knee again. Come back into your lunge. Plant your hands so that we can bring our right leg, our front leg, back into our tabletop. We're going to take a seat for a moment with our legs out in front of us. The right leg is going to extend out long, the left foot to the inner thigh. Point your right toes up. You can stay facing your right foot, your right leg, and fold forwards. Get your hamstring and your calf again. You want to add a little bit of a twist here. Turn your chest towards your knee. Maybe your right hand will hold your left knee. Maybe leading with your shoulder, you're going to tip down, lean down. Your hand can move a little bit if it needs to. Just kind of holds you in place, keeps you honest, leading with your knee or your shoulder towards your knee. And then if the left arm wants to reach up and over, it might give you a nice side stretch. You might end up holding your foot or reaching past it, and maybe you're breathing. Hopefully. And then just slowly lift yourself back up. And bring your knees back together. That was just a little bit of a side stretch bonus. Give your knees a little bit of a hug, a rock side to side. We're going to make our way back into our tabletop. Our left foot can come forwards for our lunge this time. Maybe tucking your back toes, scoot your knee back, even ever so slightly can be such a game changer. Sink into the lunge, find your right hip. From here, we're going to start to pivot, turning the chest towards the right a little, letting the back leg swing behind us, maybe coming all the way up to regroup, reset, left toes, left knee pointing forwards on that right knee. Half warrior two. Maybe you're sinking the hips forwards a little bit. Maybe you're pulsing a little bit. Maybe you stay here. But you can always scoot your left foot forwards a little bit more if your hips are opening. A little bit more and a little bit more as you stay here. You can stay lifted. You can come onto your hands. You can come onto your forearms. But then just slowly, we're going to start to make our way back into our lunge. So scooch things around slowly, gracefully, so that you end up back in your lunge. Everything is on your mat again. Sink into the hips. And then you can slowly start to send the hips back and lengthen the left leg, maybe pointing the toes up. Dropping the chest down. And then bending back into your front knee, coming back into your lunge one more time. Pushing into your hands to bring your left knee back and into your tabletop where we can sit down with our left leg out in front. Now this is supposed to be a lower body focused practice, so if you don't want to add the side stretch in, that's completely fine. Left leg out long, right foot to the inner thigh, fold forwards, stretch your hamstring. If you like that twist. Lift on up, Maybe hold your knee. Maybe start to lean, leading with the shoulders. It's also a really awesome hamstring stretch, of course. But whatever feels good for you, reach past your foot or hold your foot. And just using an inhale to lift back up. If you are folding, if you are twisting, turn back to face forwards. Bring your knees in. Give them a nice little hug. Rock side to side. And we'll just be finding butterfly so the soles of the feet can come together, knees out wide. Bringing length into your spine. You can stay here sitting nice and tall. If you happen to have a lovely block close by, you might bring it underneath your feet. Now, if you feel like you're just falling backwards now, skip the block. But if you're feeling good, long and strong through your spine, you can stay here. You can fold forwards wherever you happen to be, if it feels good to do so. And then just using an inhale to come back up. If you are folding, careful as you bring your feet off your block if you were using one. Bring your knees back together again. Give them a nice squeeze. Take a rock side to side. Finding a cross-legged seat when you're ready. Crossing your legs one way, maybe you will take your foot to the top of your quad, towards your hip crease for half lotus, just stretching the ankle a little bit more, lengthening through the spine, staying here a little bit longer. If you have full lotus in your practice, you might bring your other foot on top as well. If you did wind your legs together into full lotus, just slowly start to unwind them. Cross your legs the other way. Stay here. Or take your other foot on top first. Stay here in your half lotus, or wind everything up into full lotus. Just lengthen your spine and find your breath. However your legs may be crossed. You can start to unwind though, uncross your legs. And maybe just bringing the knees back together one more time. Rock side to side if you'd like. Awesome work, you guys. That is it. That is all for today. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, namaste.